everybody, it's Flexnutz here out of 146 o0o. This video is going to be strictly on explaining my melee build and what all it entails. Now, please keep in mind this is a rough draft. There are things that I'm still working the kinks out of. There's not anybody that I know of that I can pull content from and ask instructions from. So everything's been trial and error at this point. It's a unforgiving class. You're going to be one of the ones who really dedicate yourself to the Alliance. So I'm going to go over a few different little builds I have so far, and as well as my officers, and you can take what you can from it, and I hope it helps. But I'm gonna try to answer some of these questions I've been getting. But first off, you definitely need your fleet bonus up for your unworldly. Now I've been trying to roll this right here for a very long time. I don't know how many speeds I've blown, but the higher the fleet size, the better. Now, one thing I am different at in my build than most is my commander skills. I dedicate a lot of my points to zombie killing. And the reason being is because it is a easy way and a free way to collect all of your officer fragments and equipment shards. And you can do this at a very fast rate. And I'm going to explain this with mobility rating real quick before I jump into my stats on melee. What am I doing? So my mobility rating, all right, so it's 101 seconds. So the faster I get my mobility, the faster I can kill zombies, and the faster I can get more officer XP fragments. But as far as my stats go for melee, I'm at a baseline of 1000. Melee HP is 948. This is unbuffed, but it's kind of giving you a picture of what I'm set at. My LRA is nowhere near where I wanted it, and I've been trying to re-roll Aeon, trying to get a higher LRA reduction value. It's been a challenge. So these are my current stats. They can be greatly improved upon, and I'm working at it, but this is kind of where we're at. Badges, they help. They are useful. They're expensive to get. I wouldn't recommend dumping the amount of money that I've dumped. I could use it elsewhere and been a hell of a lot better off. Looking back, it is what it is. But let's pull up the buckshot approach here. Point. All right. So this is just kind of what I roll with on a regular PvE. I'm not fighting in one basis. This is just the standard build I use, and the reason being is because a lot of people may give a little bit of criticism to this, but I actually use Brave Star as my zombie killer, right? And I do this because during off hours I can rock his mobility and his zombie comprehension here, as well as switch him out in a blink of an eye if I need to fight with him before my hospital overflows. And what I mean by that is I'll go in, my fighting setup would be Saki, of course, and then if I right when I hit, I'll switch her and Brave Star out if my hospital is at the brink of cap. And that's generally during Void War and things of that nature. Yeah, I've been trying to roll her to get the fleet size as well. I have not had a lot of luck. I have dumped a ton of fragments trying to get it to go in my favor. It's not working. There is a consensus at the moment saying that maybe only roll her 1 to 3 times a day, because anything more, you're probably going to get the same results. But at the beginning of reset, and if you haven't rolled your officers in a while, you have better odds. I can't say that is 100% true, but that seems to be an average consensus that people are giving feedback to. So if you do want to try to roll your unworldlies, do it maybe once to at most 4 times, and then stop and wait until the next reset. Those are better odds. the other thing here. I'm going to go through my officers. And here's what I have as my setup. I use melee attack, melee expert, melee HP on every single one of my officers. And the reason I do that is because defense is absolutely useless. I've tested it, I've tried it, I don't see any change. Now, the one thing I saw incredible change with was melee attack, believe it or not. Because although them shredders, they're hefty, they're slow, once they get engaged, and especially if you consider the new Titan equipment that just came out, they are absolutely nasty. No one expects it. Everyone has very low melee attack reduction. So you're exploiting something that no one's aware of because it's just off the wall. It doesn't make sense to even be melee, but if you are going to, I would recommend high attack. And where is the melee reduction at? Here we go. Enemy melee reduction. Okay, so everyone's really low. I mean, that's very low. And that's going to be kind of the average basis. And yeah, it's something that you're going to have to adapt to if you do want to convert to melee. You need to always focus on your LRA reduction. And the two players that can do that well is Aeon, and I just finally, after many attempts, got her LRA reduction, and I'm working on getting that one up. And Alexandria, and I can't ever seem to roll higher than a single S. But my other little tip would be, once you start rolling this, get all 5 of these unworldlies unlocked first, and then roll until you lock in your LRA. That way you only spend 1 fragment. So for example, if we go to roll, right now it costs 1. You start locking these in, it costs 2, and so on and so forth. It starts adding up and it becomes very expensive. So my recommendation, roll with 1 fragment, conserve until you lock in what you're looking for, which honestly you need to be looking for reduces damage taken from long range troops. And that's critical. That changes the game completely, especially because 99% of the people that play this game are LRA users. The other thing would be your equipment, and with your Titans, first thing I would highly recommend doing if you're a melee user is going in, locking out your Empress Escort. And I still need to pay more attention to this. I need to dedicate more because this skill right here changes absolutely everything for you. It gives you that extra shield on the battlefield. I haven't unlocked this yet. I'm going to do it tomorrow. I was hoping to do it tonight, but I ran out of market options. So anyway, if I'm missing anything, if you have any more questions or concerns, message me. I can create another video in regards to what I have left out. I hope this helps, and yeah, have a great night.